ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। हरिः ओम। सुमुखश्च एकदन्तश्च कपिलो गजकर्णकः लंबोदरश्च विकटो विघ्नराजो विनायकः धूमकेतुर्गणाध्यक्षः फालचन्द्रो गजाननः वक्रतुण्डः शूर्पकर्णो हेरम्बः स्कन्दपूर्वजः शुक्लाम्बरधरं विष्णुं शशिवर्णं चतुर्भुजं प्रसन्नवदनं ध्यायेत् सर्वविघ्नोपशान्तये। यस्य द्विरदवक्त्राढ्याः पारिषद्याः परस्सतं विघ्नं निघ्नन्ति सततं विश्वक्सेनं तमाश्रये। गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुर्साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। सच्चिदानन्दरूपाय कृष्णाय अक्लिष्टकारिणे नमो वेदान्तवेद्याय गुरवे बुद्धिसाक्षिणे कृष्णद्वैपायनं व्यासं सर्वभूतहिते रतं वेदाक्षभास्करं वन्दे समाधिनिलयं मुनिं जन्माद्यस्य यतः अन्वयात् इतरतश्च अर्थेषु अभिघ्नः स्वराट् तेने ब्रह्महृदायः आदिकवये मुह्यन्ति यत् सूरयः तेजो वारिमृदां यथा विनिमयो यत्र त्रिसर्गो मृषा धाम्ना स्वेन सदा निरस्तकुहकं सत्यं परं धीमहि धर्मः सोचिदकैतवोऽत्र परमो निर्मत्सराणां सताम् वेद्यं वास्तवम् अत्र वस्तु शिवदं तापत्रयोन्मूलनम् श्रीमद्भागवते महामुनिकृते किं वा परैः ईश्वरः सद्यः हृदि अवरुध्यतेः अत्र कृतिभिः शुश्रूषिभिः तत्क्षणात् निगमकल्पतरोर्गलितं फलं सुखमुखात् अमृतद्रवसंयुतं पिबत भागवतं रसमालयं मुहुरहो रसिकाः भुवि भावुकाः यं प्रव्रजन्तम् अनुपेतम् अपेतकृत्यं द्वैपायनो विरहकातर आजुहाव पुत्रेति तन्मयतया तरवः अभिनेदुः तं सर्वभूतहृदयं मुनिम् आनतोऽस्मि। यः स्वानुभावम् अखिलश्रुतिसारम् एकम् अध्यात्मदीपम् अतितितीर्षतां तमोन्धम संसारिणां करुणयाः पुराणगुह्यं तं व्याससूनुम् उपयामि गुरुं मुनीनां नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयम् उदीरयेत्. With Bhagavan's grace, let us continue from where we left off in our last session. We came up to slokam number 25, adhyayam 2 in skandham number 4. 24 and 25 slokangal talks about the second curse that Nandi Bhagavan throws at both the Daksha and his followers, the Brahmins present in that Yagam, Satra Yagam, who were very pleased and happy and supporting Daksha's curse, because Daksha was driven by basically ego, arrogance, right? But they supported him. So Nandi Bhagavan throws a curse at them. This is the second curse. First one was on Daksha. The second one is on the Brahmins. And the basic message from 24 and 25, Bhagavan says, Nandikeswara says, the ignorant Dakshan, having been caught in this motion of karmas, every karma has a result with it. So it's an endless cycle, karma chakram as we say. And what he has said is the correct thing. That is what some people think. And those people who think that what this ignorant Daksha said is correct, in that process, they also disrespected and derided Shivan, and they follow Dakshan. They also may they also be developing enmity towards Shiva. What are these Brahmins? What do they know? They listen to all these beautiful. When you smell bouquet of flowers, or in the garden you go there, and the fragrance is so intoxicating. Like that, they get intoxicated with the sabdangal of Vedam. When Vedam recitation, chanting comes, it is so beautiful. So they get intoxicated with that. And in that process, they think that Veda is the most supreme. And they have lost their way. Let them continue to be delusioned and live in the delusion. And because of that, may they be born in this world again and again and undergo the miseries of birth. Number 26. Sarva bhaksha dvijavrutyai dhruta vidya tapo vrataha vitta dehendriya rama yachakaha vicharantviha. Sarva bhaksha dvijavrutyai dhruta vidya tapo vrataha vitta dehendriya rama yachakaha vicharantviha. Vicharantu iha. That's the way it is broken. Okay. Now, Dvijaha, these Brahmanas, these Brahmins, what do? These Brahmins. Sarva bhakshaha, and they eat all kinds of things. Sarva bhakshaha. See, there is permitted food and prohibited food. And they take both. They take all kinds of food. And in addition to that, Vrityai Dhrita Vidya Tapovrataha. Vrityai Dhrita Vidya Tapovrataha. Vrityai means to grow. Vrityai also means to sustain. For example, in order for me to eat, to live, there's a growth also involved. Scientifically, there is cells grow and then they also divide and then die away, right? So that support, in that sense, in order to sustain their livelihood, Vritya, in order to sustain their livelihood, what do? Dhrita Vidya Tapo Vrataha. Dhrita Vidya Tapo Vrataha. The Dhrita means very strong, very firm, okay, very committed. Vidya, knowledge. What knowledge do they for? The knowledge pertaining to the material world. Tapas and vratam, disciplines. They follow. They follow tapam, vratam, and scholarship. Vedic scholarship, other material knowledge, scholarship, whatever it may be. They follow all this, very good in this. Dhrita Vidyaha, they're very strong in this, in order to vrityai, in order to earn a livelihood. So they eat all kinds of things, and in order to earn a livelihood, they follow all this. And in addition to that, these Brahmins also do one more thing. What do? Vitta Deha Indriya Rama. We can relate to this in the modern world, very easy. Even those days, people were present, but today it seems to be a little bit more, seems to be more pervasive. Vitta, Deha, Indriya, Rama. Vitta, money. Deha, body. Indriya, the senses. The senses have their own sensual pleasures. Deham, the body has its own sensual pleasures. Vittam, Vitta, the intoxication towards money. Right? So Vitta, Deha, Indriya, Rama. Attracted to this, attracted to money, attracted to this body, attracted to the sensual pleasures. So these Brahmins do three kinds of things. They eat all kinds of things. In order to earn a livelihood, they all learn this knowledge, they follow this pratham and tapas and yajnam and education and scholarship and all they have. Plus, they are attached to, and not only attached, intoxicated by Rama. Intoxicated by and by money, by body, and by sensual pleasures. Let these Vijaha, these Brahmins, the third curse is, Iha, in this world, Yachakaha Vicharantu, let them roam about in this world, Yachakaha, as beggars. That's the third curse. Okay, let them move around in this world as beggars, and let them be born and again be born in this world. Okay, and once being born, let them move around as beggars. These are curses, three curses of Nandi Bhagavan. Now Slokam 27. Tasyaivam vadaha sapam srutva Vijakulaya vai Bhruguhu pratyasajat sapam brahmadhandam duratyayam. Tasyaivam vadaha sapam srutva Vijakulaya vai Bhruguhu pratyasajat sapam Brahmadandam duratyayam. Tasya evam vadaha sapam srutva Vijakulaya vai Bhruguhu pratyasrijat sapam Brahmadandam duratyayam. Evam, this way, Vijakulaya vai, the whole groups of Brahmins, Sapam vadataha. It's one who has spoken this curse, this sapam. Tasya, that Nandikeswaras, Srutva, hearing the sapam, the curse that thrown by Nandikeswara, this curse, Bhruguhu, the Bhrugu Munivar who was present there, Duratyayam Brahmadandam Sapam. Duratyayam, very difficult to overcome. Okay, very difficult. You can't escape it. Inescapable, so to speak. Very difficult. Okay. Brahmadandam, the Brahmadandam Sapam, the curse that is thrown by a Brahmin, a Brahmana. If you understand it in Sanskritam, it will be easier. Because today the word Brahmin, unfortunately, has been twisted and does not mean have the correct meaning. So here the correct meaning is, remember, not only the person who is born in a Brahmana lineage, as you can see the Yaksha Samvadam in Mahabharatam, between Yaksha and Yudhishthira, the question is asked, who is a true Brahmin? Is it by birth? Is it by scholarship? Or is it by conduct? And Yudhishthira doesn't even hesitate. It is not attained by birth. It is not attained by scholarship. Only by conduct. Okay? So that, understand, Brahmadanda, when a person like that throws a curse, it is very powerful. Extremely powerful. It is duratyayam. It is inescapable. It is so powerful. That sapam, Bhruguhu, pratyasrijat, in return to the sapam, prati, okay, asrijat, prati means returning, right? In reply to the sapam thrown by Nandikeswara, Asrijat, he threw another sapam back, listening to this. Now, Duratyayam is very important to understand. Now, we may wonder, hey, what on earth is this? Nandikeswara throwing a sapam, now he's on the good side, so to speak, he's on the side of Shiva, and we all love Shiva. Shiva means Mangalam, he has no enemies, no enemitic feelings, only bliss, and wants only welfare of everybody. That we understand. At the same time, so naturally his follower gets agitated and he throws a curse. That may seem acceptable to you, but to Bhrigu Munivar it was not. Now Bhrigu is not an ordinary Munivar. Right? He's a great Muni, great Rishi. So when he throws a sapam, why is he doing this against Bhagavan's followers? That question comes. See, both these pertain to the world of the created world, the Prakriti. Remember that. And everything in Prakriti, everything, the so-called good, the so-called bad, everything is Maya, is an illusion. But the Prakriti is so intoxicatingly attractive. It mesmerizes me and takes me away from the source, which is the Creator. How powerful the feeling of separation is. So Bhagavan says in Gita, in Adhyayam 7, Jnana Vijnana Yogam, Slokam number 14, he says, Daivi hi esha gunamayi mama maya duratyaya. Same word, duratyaya. Mameva ye prapadhyante mayam etam taranti te. Simple meaning is, this Prakriti is nothing but the three gunangal. Okay? Daivi, the divine Maya it is. The will to separate, right, is divine and very powerful. Duratyaya, very difficult to overcome. And this, the very fact of separating from myself itself is illusion. But that power is so powerful, difficult to overcome. And it is full of the feeling of separation comes because of the three gunangal. Okay? So that is very difficult to overcome. But how to overcome, Swami? He answers in the next line, Mameva ye mameva prapadhyante charanam sharanau prapadhye. We say that in Venkatesa prapadhi. Surrender, offering everything to him, including the feeling of doership. Even offering the act of offering also should be offered to him. Okay? So that Mameva, ye mameva prapadhyante, whoever surrenders to me and worships me, the Creator, yetam mayam, this powerful Maya, te taranti, they overcome. So focus should be on the Creator. Again, Kapila Bhagavan said, Kshetrajna, focus on that. Okay? So please understand that. That's why I quickly digressed into it. So Bhrigu Munivar sowing a curse. Now let us move on to slokam number 28. We are now 28. Nashta saucha mudha dhiyo jatha basmathi dharinaha visantu sivadikshayam yatra daivam sura savam. 28. Bhava vratadhara yecha tan samanuvrataha pashandinaste bhavantu sat sastra paripantinaha. Bhava vratadhara yecha tan samanuvrataha pashandinaha te bhavantu Sat Sastra Paripantinah. Here, Bhava Vrata Dharaha. Bhava here means Sivaperuman. Bhavan, so we say, right? Okay. So, Bhava Vrata Dhara. Vrata means the discipline, commitment, Dhara, support. Sivan, the bliss, the source of the bliss, the source of bliss, the source of auspiciousness, the source of Mangalam, source of Pavitram, Pavitranam cha, we say in Vishnu Sahasranamam. That source, that entity is Bhavan. And the form that the embodiment of that we worship is Sivaperuman. And we have our own way of describing the form in different ways. So, that those people who now Bhrigu curse says, those who worship this Sivan, Yecha and Tan Samanuvrataha, not only they worship him, they committed, disciplined followers of Sivan, they also, Samanuvrataha, they also follow him. They, those people, Sat Sastra Paripantinaha, Sat Sastram. Paripantina means enemies, dislike, developing enmity towards. Sat Sastram, the good Sastram, that literal translation. So, Bhagavan says in Bhagavad Gita to Arjuna, you must follow Sastram, otherwise you lose your way. Okay, it's very important in the things, there in 17 maybe. So, he says that, please do that, right? So here, what is Sat Sastram? Sat is like saying Holy Bible, you know. Sastram itself is beneficial. And those people who follow, who believe in Siva and follow him, they will become Sastatra Paripantinaha, become enemies. They will develop dislike and hatred to all the Sastras. And in that process, another thing what will happen is, in 28, right? Okay, let me get this. Then, Pashandinaha, Te Pashandinaha. Pashandina means Nastikan, non-believer in divinity. They will, because they dislike and move away from the Shastras, they also become Nastikas. Let them become like that. Is the first curse from Bhrigu Muni. Now we can see in our own world, right? Many people, when you start saying Bhagavad Gita, they yawn and close their eyes and move away. How many people are interested in listening and narrating and thinking about the glories and stories of Bhagavan or Bhagavatam or Ramayanam or anything? Everybody, those people, please remember, the same divinity is in everyone, but their impulses are different. That's a kind of curse Bhrigu Muni is putting here. Now, don't literally mean, oh my God, I'm a Saivite, I believe in Sivaperuman, so do I become a Nastika? No, that's not what it is. Okay, you'll see later. This is the curse that Bhrigu Muni gives in spite of all the scholarship. As we saw earlier in the last session or the session before, in Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavan explains it very clearly. All these Vedangal and all pertain only to the created world, to Prakriti. But you have to go beyond that, beyond the Nistraigunyo Bhava, Arjuna, he says. Got to go beyond the gunas. Okay, that is where it is. And then he also says, people who think Vedam is where the end is, they talk with all the flowery words, sweet words and all that. So please understand it in that concept. Okay. Now, number 29. Nashta Saucha Mudha Dhiyaha Jadha Bhasma Astidharinaha Visantu Sivadikshayam Yatra Daivam Surasavam. Nashta Saucha Mudha Dhiyaha Jadha Bhasma Astidharinaha Visantu Sivadikshayam Yatra Daivam Surasavam. Now Bhrigu says, Mudha Dhiyaha. These people are ignorant, fools, he says. Mudha Dhiyaha. And these ignorant fools, Yatra Surasavam Daivam. Yatra, where? Surasavam, drinking intoxicating liquor. Daivam, the Devatai, where the Devatai that gets intoxicated by drinking liquor, where that Devatai is present, Shiva Dikshayam, that Diksha means that the discipline, the followers, that Shiva's teachings, in that Shiva's teachings, these Mudadeyaha, these ignorant fools, Nashta Sauchaha, without any purity. Saucha means purity, Nashta means loss. So, without any purity, Jata, Bhasma, Asti, Dharinaha. They are wearing, dressed in, okay, in what? In matted hair, Jata, Bhasma, in ashes, and Asti, in bones, wearing a garland of bones, and the body is completely smeared with ashes and matted hair. And Nashta Sauchaha, they look so unclean, so dirty. Let them listen to, let them join the crowd. These ignorant fools who follow Sivan, and Sivaperuman, drinks his intoxicating liquor and dances around. Let them join the crowd, wearing matted hair and a garland of a necklace of bones and a necklace of not bones, the kapalam, the head portion, and the skull, wearing skulls, and then also smearing their body all over. So let them move around there. That's another curse. Then number 30. Brahmacha brahmanam cha yeva yad yuyam parinindata setum vidharanam pumsam ataha pakhandam asrutaha. Brahmacha brahmanam cha yeva yad yuyam parinindata setum vidharanam pumsam ataha pakhantam asrutaha. He says, with what reason you are deriding the Vedangal, which actually has formulated the codes of discipline for people to conduct themselves, and the Brahmins, the Vedic Pandits, the Vedic scholars, the Brahmins, are all who are learned in Vedas, are the same as Vedas. But you are not. Nandikesara has thrown a sapam on them. He said that for the same reason that he threw sapam on these Brahmins, because of the same reason, you are Nastikas, he says, non-believer in divinity. Okay, Nastikas. This the overall meaning of this. Yet, with what reason? Yuyam pumsam, you all, pumsam, for all these, yuyam pumsam vidharanam setum. Okay, yuyam, you all, there's a plurality, plural of addressing, yuyam, pumsam vidharanam setum, pumsam for human beings, the setum vidharanam, acting like, setu means like a dam, So what does a dam do? Dam actually controls the flow of water and puts it in limit, right? So the same way, the vidharanam means the discipline. So like vidharanam setum for pumsam, for human beings, formulating and giving the codes of conduct and what we call as the limits of behavior, right? Limits of conduct. And and that gives Brahma. That is, the Vedangal do that. So Brahma, if here means Vedam, it does pumsam vidharanam setum. It gives codes of discipline to live in this world. It has given that very clearly. Right? Matru devo bhava, pitru devo bhava, acharya devo bhava, atithi devo bhava. It says, like that there are many instructions out there. Okay? So we follow that, then we lead a happy life. So it has given us that code of conduct. And Brahmanam cha eva, all these Brahmins also who are propagating and sharing the teachings and explaining the teachings of these Vedangal, yet with what reason you all, parinindita, you derided the Vedam and the Brahmins, ataha, for the same reason, by the same reason, pakhandam astrutaha, you all will, astrutaha means kadaipadikkaradu, we say in Tamil, you astrutaha, you will all follow, you will all be embedded in pakhandam, means in Gnosticum. Okay? So you will all will not love God, and you will become non-believers in God. So fully believing your body is everything, that kind of thing. Brahmacha brahmanam cha yeva yajyuyam parinindakha fetum vidharanam pumsam ataha pakandam asrutaha. Now 31. Yesha eva hi lokanam Sivaha pantaha sanatanaha yam purvecha anusantastuhu yat pramanam janardanaha. Yesha eva hi lokanam Sivaha pantaha sanatanaha yam purvecha anusantastuhu yat pramanam Janardanaha. Now, in spite of all the scholarship and all the knowledge, Vedic knowledge and everything, even Bhrigu Muni is differentiating between Janardanan and Shiva. Okay? This is where the Maya, the confusion comes in. Shiva, we mean in English Saivam, we mean different. No. Prior to Adi Shankara came and classified it to the Shad Dharmas, the 6 pathways to follow. Everything was there in Vedam, so he made it clear. The idea is, if you, Vishnu, the Vaishnavas, Vishnu is the indweller in everything. Simple, that aspect of Bhagavan. That is why even in Sahasranam, the word Sivaha comes. In Purusha Suktam also, the word Sivaha comes. In Vedangal, many other places it is there. The same entity, right? In Mahanarayana Upanishad, if we go, the very Gayatri Mantram talks about this. But the Shiva aspect is the Mangalam, the moment I think of God, Bhagavan, what happens to me? I get auspiciousness, I get peace of mind. That moment when I connect with Bhagavan, I'm blissful. That aspect of divinity is Shivam. Okay, where there is truth, there is that bliss is there. Okay. Now, even Bhrigu Muni is making a distinction here, out of ignorance. Janardanaha. Janardanaha means Jana Ardanaha, one who cuts. What cuts? What cuts is Samsara Sagaram. And that is, we use the word Janardanaya Namaha, Om Sri Janardanaya Namaha. We say in our Ashtotram or Sahasranamam to Bhagavan Vishnu, who is indweller in everything. So keeping that perspective in mind, okay, and let us see what Bhrigu Muni says here. Yesha eva hi lokanam Sivaha pantaha sanatanaha yam purve cha anusantastuhu yat pramanam janardanaha yesha eva hi lokanam. Now, he says, before continuing this, where did this creation come from? What he says, the Moola Karanam, the Adi Karanam, that Moolam is Janardanaha Pramanam. He said, Pramanam, that is a Moola Karanam, is Janardana. because the one who has created is the one who can also stop the creation. Okay, so he calls it as Janardana. So Yesha Evahi Lokanam. This is the only way for Lokanam, for all the people living in this world. Sanatanaha, eternal. Sivaha Pantaha. See here, very interesting. Sivaha Panta means pathway. Sivaha means beneficial, most auspicious. Most auspicious pathway for all the Lokanam, for all the people living in the world, for Sanatanaha, eternally available. Yesha Evahi, this is the one. And what is it? And this pathway is also Yam Purvecha Anusantastuhu. The same pathway has been followed by people from time immemorial, all our elders. Everybody has followed this pathway. Yesha Evahi, this is the pathway. And what is the pathway? Yet, for this pathway, Mula Karanam is what? Mula Karanam, the Sanatana, yet Janardanaha Mula Karanam, the cause for all this, the Mula Karanam for this Pramanam is Janardana. So he says, you're worshipping Shiva, who is considered as a Devatai, and he moves around. As Daksha said, all this cemeteries and the crematoriums and all that, with ashes smeared on this, hair completely disheveled, and with a garland of skulls and all this, dances around, intoxicated, all those things he talks about. So Bhrigu Muni repeats the same thing. He said, why? But you will follow him, then you also become a non-believer. But instead, the pathway that is followed from all our elders is Janardana. That's what he says in this. Okay, I hope that's clear to you. Let us see if we can take at least one or two more. Tad Brahma Paramam Suddham Satam Vartma Sanatanam Vigarhya Yata Pashandham Daivam Vo Yatra Yat Bhutarat. 32. No. Tad Brahma Suddham Satam Vartma Sanatanam Vigarhya Yata Pashandham Daivam Vo Yatra Bhutarat. Now, what he is saying is the correct path to follow is what he is talking about. Paramam Suddham, the most sacred, Sanatanam, eternal, from time immemorial this has been followed. Satam, by all the Sadhukal. Satam Vartma, the pathway followed by Sadhukal. Tad Brahma, Vigarhya, that Brahma, that Vedam, Vigarhya, insulting that. Right from time immemorial, all the Sadhukal have followed the Vedic path. That is most sacred. That pathway, that Vedam, insulting that Vedam, Vigarhya, Yatra, where Vaha, your Pashantam, okay, Pashandam, Pakhandam, but whichever one comes is fine, is Pakhandam means non-believer in Bhagavan. Pakhandam Daivam, the true Nastikan, that Shiva Brahman, the Daivam, here, Daivam refers to the various Devataika, what we call as, in English it's usually translated as a demigods, but the different aspects of divinity shines in different things for different functions. Okay, in that case, he says, Pakandam Daivam, the Nastikam, the Devadev, which is Shiva Brahman, Bhutarat, he is the chief, the master and the ruler of all the various Bhutangal. That's Shiva Brahman. Yatra, wherever he is, Yata, go there, he says to these people, as there is another Sapa. Go and follow. Okay, that's what you want, go and do it. You're all non-believers, Nastikas. Okay, and you have insulted the the Vedic Margam that has been that most sacred, has been from time immemorial. The sadhukal have followed that. Okay, you're insulting that. Go and follow your Sivan. That's what he said. Then he's Bhutarate, the chief and master of all the Bhutangal. Now, what is a Bhutam? Colloquially, we think Bhutam means ghost. Okay, that's one way we are always brought up. And Bhuta Ganangal means groups of these ghosts. Immediately we think, oh my God, so many bad things are coming, all these ferocious. No, Bhutam is ghost. If you take it literally in the English, the translation, which I think really points to a good meaning of the word Bhutam, the whole world is nothing but a ghost. It's all imagination. It's all illusion. So that sense, the master, the ruler of all this, is really a Bhutarad. Bhagavan is Bhutarad. He is also the controller of all the Mayas. Okay, all that sense. But here he's talking about, oh my God, all the things in cremation. You go there in crematoriums and cemetery and all that, and all these ghosts are there. Okay, the master of that who's dancing there is Shiva. Go there. That's what Bhrigu Muni says. Remember, and very supposed to be very knowledgeable. But then later on it comes in Bhrigu in Taittiriya Upanishad. The same Bhrigu asks his father Varuna, Swami, Appa, tell me, how can I know Brahman? Remember that. So, and then Varuna tells him, go and do tapas. And then Bhrigu Muni does tapas. And progressively, stage by stage, he goes. First he says it's the body. Then it says it's the pranan. No, that's what Brahman is. But he says, no, it is not Brahman. I'm not satisfied. Then he says it is a mind. No, it is not that. Then he says it's Vijnanam, the buddhi. It is not that. Finally, he says it is nothing but bliss. The moment he becomes one with the bliss and the experience of that, he doesn't come back to his father again. Before that, it is the body he comes to his father. Father says, no, go and do tapas. Then you'll realize. Then he comes back. It is a pranan, no, it is not the pranan. Go and do tapas. Then mind, no, go and do tapas. And then buddhi, no, go and do tapas. So through tapas, you will realize it, is what he says. Finally, when he continues to do tapas, he realizes Anandam. Then he does not come back to his father to ask him question. The same Bhrigu Muni does that. So that's another anecdote for you. So here, in Slokam 32, basically he says, go and dance and be involved with the ghost and be a Nastikas. That is what he says, because you have insulted the most sacred pathway, the Vedic path. Okay, so it's not correct, because he doesn't say that you've insulted the Vedic path, you've insulted the Vedas and the Brahmins who follow that, is what he says. Now, next slokam is 33, then Maitreya Uvacha. That we will take up with Bhagavan's grace tomorrow. And that slokam 33 says, basically, remember it all happens in the assembly hall. And the group of Brihaspatis, everybody is present. Brahma is present. Then Daksha Prajapati came and he did this thing through this curse at Sivaperuman. So Sivaperuman is also seated there. And his followers are also seated there. And then there is a group of Brahmins who were happy with what Daksha said. They were also present there. And there is another group of Brahmins who were not happy. They were also present. And then Bhrigu Munivar gets up and throws this sapam on the followers of Shiva. Then, Slokam 33, you're going to hear, listening to this, hearing the curse thrown by Bhrigu, Sivaperuman pretended to be sad, and along with his retinue, he left the Yagasala. Then, in 34 and 35, Maitreya continues. He says, "Oh Vidura, then in that yagam, which was well reputed, and the Yajna Purusha, Yajna Devata is Mahavishnu. That Satrayagam, the Yajna Devata is Mahavishnu. Then 1,000 years they did that, and after completing it, the various Prajapatigal and the Munivargal, they were all presented. After completing the yagam, they came to Prayagai, the Prayag, as we call it today, where Yamuna and Ganga join. They came to that place and completed the final rituals, and then they left and reached their own places. That is the essence of Slokam 34, 35. So 33, 34 and 35 we will take up tomorrow. And in next Adhyayam 3, Slokam number 1, just to give you a introduction into it so you know how the thing is continuing. So like this, there is always continuous enmity between the son-in-law and the father-in-law, and many years passed like this. Okay, that's how Adhyayam 3 begins. So we'll take it up, hopefully tomorrow with Bhagavan's grace. Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Samastalokaha Sukhino Bhavantu. Samastalokaha Sukhino Bhavantu. Samastalokaha Sukhino Bhavantu. Om Santit Santit Santihi. Harihi Om.